Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, April 28th, 2009. Not a whole lot of swell happening for the next 7 days or so. A little bit of southern hemi creeping up into Wednesday. A little bit more over the weekend, but nothing really all that sizable. What I wanted to talk to you about today, though, was something that's been forming down in the southern hemisphere. Still out on the 60-hour range models. Still a little bit of a long range. Really make much of a definitive call. It's not the most ideal system, but it is quite large in size, and it could actually then bring some swell to our coast around the 8th or 9th. So I wanted to show you what's happening on the models, bring that all together. This is what's happening right now. Taking a look at the southern hemisphere models, we can see where this Antarctic fetch would be forming. This is out on a 48-hour simulation. That's not all that far out to not make a call, but still a little bit early to really see what happens, especially over the next few days. Long distance from Southern California, located at least 5,500 nautical miles away from us, and also not traveling on an ideal trajectory. Here's a 60-hour model, so we can see there's a little bit of movement, but most of it's going toward the east and not north. But the size of this, about 40-foot seas when this thing does form. And that should get a little bit of a northward push, but not much. And so we're kind of looking at a poor trajectory. We want to see systems from that area move more toward the north. But if we go out onto the longer range models, 96-hour models, we can see some of that fetch actually pushing northward. And that's a good sign. We can actually see then what would be a result of that if we take a look at the period models and take a look at the swell energy. So we can see the swell energy here. This is a 72-hour model out showing what would start to be pushed out of this system and pushed northward past the lower 50s. We can see that that's already starting to push a little bit more toward the east. If we spin the models forward in time, we can see that developing a little bit more. And once again, not pointed directly northward towards Southern California. That northeast trajectory going more towards Peru, towards South America, not really up north where we need it in Southern California. But still a nice northeasterly trajectory, throwing some of that swell energy up toward our area. And then as we look out a little bit more in time, this is a 120-hour model, we can see how it would develop further. What I'm trying to show here is what's called the angular spreading decay. 100% of the energy angled right at about the center, less energy as you go farther out. So we'd only get about 50% of the energy that would move up toward our area. Still, though, this storm would progress, the swell would progress nicely toward our region. And then probably around the 8th into the 9th, we would see this swell then hit Southern California. But since we'd have such a large degree of angular spreading decay, we wouldn't see as much swell as would Peru and other areas of South America. So we really have to see how models deal with this over the next couple of days. Right now, basing it off of the 48, 60-hour plus models, we're taking a look at something coming around the 8th or 9th. Periods would be exceptionally long from this, probably about 20 seconds when it first arrives on the 8th, and then, of course, shorter periods more along the lines of 18 seconds or so when it fills in more on the 9th. Size right now, tough call. Once again, 48 hours out, we still got to see what happens over the next few days, especially given that northward progression that might happen on the 84-hour model. So we really have to see what happens. Bearing that in mind, initial calculations point to probably at least chest-high surf on the 8th, building in toward possibly head-high on the 9th, but we have to see how this once again progresses and deal with it as the models will over the next couple of days. If you want to get the latest, though, ETAs on this swell, the wind, weather, tide, more, just check out my SoCal Surf Report at wetsand.com.